Ready to Love Season 4 on OWN, or Season 5 as we like to call it. Let's put a bow on it. Stay tuned. Hi there, Simply Subbies. Welcome back to the Simply Stacey YouTube channel. It's your girl, Stacey. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us for Ready to Love Season 5 on the OWN Network. This is the end-all, be-all reunion wrap-up part number 2. And yeah, I want to get to it, but right before we do, I wanted to take some time to show you guys a little bit of my new merch that I have. It arrived yesterday or the day before, and they are my hardcover journals. You guys have seen my hardcover journals before because I've been writing in them and taking my notes in them for these shows and my reality recaps. So you guys have definitely seen them before. This yellow one is the Simply List. This one has been out quite a while, and as you can see on the back, there is my logo. It is nice. It is matte. It has pages. And look, guys, I use these for everything. This is not just to add, but this is for convenience. I love to-do lists. I love writing notes and all that stuff. So I use these on a daily basis, and they're just super cute and motivational. Like this one is the Simply List, as you guys can read. Chic, savvy, simply magic, living, social, all the things, right? So that is the Simply List, and it does come in that bright, vibrant yellow color. This is the one that I have been taking notes in 2022. So this is my newest one. Simply Living is about love, trust, and mimosas for brunch. That is my motto. I love a good brunch. I actually like a little bubbly, but more so like a Bellini, but mimosas just sound good for that. And then here are the 3 new ones that I have. So this one is just basically the logo. Simply is an acronym for simply inspiring and motivating people to live intentionally. You can not see it that well because it's a little bit lighter, especially with the light on the book, but that is written right here. And then on the back, of course, the Simply Stacey logo, Simply Stacey merchandise logo, in this nice teal color. This is a brand new color. We have not done teal before. The yellow and the fuchsia are my brand colors. So I've had a lot in that. I've also done black before, but this is definitely the first time we've done the teal with the lighter shade of teal or greenish, mint green on the cover. So nice. And then, of course, I couldn't go without doing a pink and green Simply Be the Good. So Simply Be the Good is one of our staples, and you've probably seen it in a variety of other colors. I know I had a black and white one at one point that has since been sold. And then again with the Simply Stacey merchandise logo on the back. So lovely. So for all of my sorors, pink and green, those are our colors. And so if you want to purchase those, the journal in pink and green, it'll be available as well. These are all $14.80. This is just the Simply Stacey merchandise logo on black. And then on the back has that other logo which says Simply inspiring and motivating people to live intentionally. On the back, I'm actually not sure if this one is actually on the site to sell or if I just bought it for myself. But guys, check it out. We also have Valentine's Day goodies and Black History Month goodies. It is January still, and so you guys have time to go out and purchase things. And yeah, but anyway, let's get to the end of this because I am so ready for this season to be over. It was not my favorite season by far. But anyway, here we are. So it starts off with, if you guys remember last episode, Tasia walks off the stage like, this is ghetto. Like, I don't understand. Like, y'all just arguing back and forth. I got stuff to do. My mom is in the hospital. I don't even want to be here. But of course, we know she signed that contract. And so she was probably supposed to be there. Even though that didn't stop Shiloh from not coming. They still didn't even talk about why Shiloh was not there. They just said that she was not there. Okay, so then Zadia and Naim are the ones on the stage talking. And Zodia is like, well, let's talk about us making a connection. I'm like, girl, y'all didn't make it to the end, so connection or no connection, like, But I guess since we talked about Cornelius and Camille and the connection that they made since the show has wrapped, I guess we could talk about Zadia and Naim. Now, we know Naim was going extra hard for Zadia when the ladies were talking about how she's been a mean girl and how, she was mean to Aisha and all these other things. Sydney was fed up and was like, you know what? Give him a peach, honey. Let him be a real housewife because he's all in the business. So I was like, okay, I'm assuming that they are together because he's definitely going hard in the paint for her. And so Zadia alludes to that they are definitely together. He's like, yeah, well, I left for her. So it is that that's what it is. And I'm like, well, technically you left because you didn't have any more connections, not necessarily for Zadia. And you kind of was her number 2 choice because she told Dante when she was poking him on the nose that I was about to pick your butt. She was like, I was about to pick your butt, but you messed up. And I'm like, girl, he don't care. He got Aisha now. Like, he is over you. And then the dramatics, honey. The dramatics have to go. Sydney is not at all feeling Naim. She was like, I can't stand him. Feeling her not sitting together at this moment, but he is turned around and rubbing her leg. You can see he's trying to calm her down. He not checking her or anything, but he knows she's agitated, and so he's trying to calm her down. And I thought that was cute because she did say with Phil's energy, he was a calming force, and she likes that. And I could see that in their relationship. Okay, next up is Walter. We're talking about Walter. His connections were Sabrina and Moomin, and basically, it looks like it's kind of awkward for them, not them, but Sabrina to kind of watch it back as she sees how her relationship with Walter kind of blossomed and kind of fizzled, and then her telling him she wasn't going to leave with him at the very end. And so the host asked, okay, Walter, did you see this coming? He was like, no, not at all. I thought we were friends first, and we agreed that we would be friends. And so I just don't understand why she wouldn't have called me to talk about it first. And she was like, you know what, Walter? You're going to quit trying to do this because if we were on that level, I wouldn't have had to call you. You would have been calling me so we could have talked about it. But you didn't, so I'm not going to reach out to you. You did not call me. She was like, I'm too old for Walter. Walter was like, I did not say that. He was like, I do want children. And so I date younger women who still will like children. Sabrina initially said she didn't want any, but after we talked and discussed it, she did say, I might have a kid for you. And so Sabrina did say that she did say that. So I'm like, well, how close did y'all get? Or was this just if this thing works out, I might be willing to do that for you? Because if you got to the point where you want to have a kid with him, did he really not call you as much? It just seemed a little bit how did we get there from there? And was he enough to make you be like, yeah, I want to have a kid with him? I don't know about that. But maybe she just didn't want her connection to end. I have seen some things since where they wanted Sabrina to clear up the fact that Walter was making it out like they had planned to leave the show together. She was like, no, I didn't plan to do that with anybody. Why would I plan to leave the show with a man who I'm not going to be with? So people out here in the streets thinking that we together when my real husband is out there somewhere because it's not you, Walter. She was like, so I'll wait. What do I get from this? What is my prize if I would have agreed to leave with you? Yeah, no prize. So I don't know what that's about. I didn't see any of his interviews, but apparently something came out and he made it sound like, they had agreed they was going to leave the show together. She was like, I don't get nothing from that, so no. They did ask Moomin, did she feel like she was his number 2 because his number 1 because that's what Sabrina said. And she said, no, I've always known. Walter's always made it clear that Sabrina was his number 1. And I always feel like number 2. So I'm like, so basically the thing is, Walter, you could say 1 and 2 all you want, but your actions show both of them they were like number 2. Or you just really suck at communicating and being in a relationship and or trying to pursue a woman. And so, yeah, nobody felt like they were special. Or although you said that Sabrina was your number 1, you definitely didn't never court her. So it seems like he said they hadn't talked since that day. But he was like, there's no love lost. Even when we saw each other today, it was like, okay, hey. Because they did have this initial chemistry. And so hopefully they can remain friends. They did hug it out at the end. Next up was Cornelius and Courtney. How she was talking about she was going to test drive him, honey. You could tell that Camille was looking a little bothered by the playback. And Courtney basically said when she left and said that she wasn't done going after what she wanted, she kind of meant more so like as a person, she grew from the process and she could have, grown a little bit more. Not necessarily to say that she still was going after Cornelius. But now again, girl, I watched, this is a tea now. I watched her live, and when her friends hopped on and said that she was Cornelius's mistress. Basically, a week or two after this aired and him and Camille was all booed up, talking about they've been together since September, she said she took him on they went on a trip together to New York. Corey was present, and they slept in the same bed. And she basically was saying Cornelius and Camille have slept together. They're not abstinent or celibate. And she did not that day when they went to New York, but she got it on good authority that if she wanted to, he would have been down with it. Because what he told her was that he's not wanting to have sex until he really knows somebody. And so basically he kind of played her, told Camille that she was his publicist, but they went to the Soul Train Music Awards together. They were taking all these like coupley pictures in New York. Now I guess he could say he was trying to model, but it just don't look good. She met him at church. And now this the real kicker now. She said that she met his ex-girlfriend from the show because they go to the same church. And she was like, yeah, he's trying to get out of this thing with Camille, but, he really can't do anything until, it finished airing. And that was basically the lie he told her. It was like, we're not together, but I can't, we got to act like it until the show is over. Needless to say, at some point he did tell her that he was going to just go rock things out with Camille. But it just looked a little suspect to me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Have y'all heard that? I seen she just did a little Black Book interview too. So I'm like, girl, are you just trying to get your 15 minutes now? Apparently her and Courtney knew each other for years prior to this. And she was good friends with Corey. And so Corey never said anything to her about Camille and Cornelius being together. It's a mess. It's a hot mess. Then they get on Corey. He was Mr. Copy and Paste, and he was telling all the women the same things. His first line was, hey, I'm free Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Which day can I take you on a date? Like, he didn't get to know anyone. He just straight up started doing that. Then he was telling all the women, or at least two, come to find out 3, I'm going to get to that too. I want you to meet my parents and all this stuff. I saw this man got a whole YouTube channel where he out here telling men how to date women or be the first date king or whatever. And it's all bad advice. And I'm like, Corey, this is why you single, sir. This is why you single. But anyway, he said, they asked him about like you were crying on one of the episodes or something. And then he takes the moment to cry in front of everybody. And they're like, what is going on? So he said his tears were brought on by the fact that his father loves his mother so much. And so he be doing a little extra, like carving him and Moomin's initials in the tree when they were on that log date. The date when they were sitting on the log and he got up behind her. Apparently on that date, he wrote his initials in the tree with hers. And so he was like, I know it might have been too much, but if it would have been something, it would have just been like a fairy tale. But I'm like, you do this to everybody. You're not special. He's like, I just want everybody to feel special. Moomin was like, nobody feels special because you be telling everybody the same thing. Come to find out, Tasia talking about she was a third party in this because he was telling her all that stuff too. They went on one date together and then he started courting her, whatever. And she was like, but I keep getting left out the story. Corey, is it true? And he beats around the bush. I've always admired you. I was the one sticking up for you in eliminations. And what Tasia said was, listen, I was always middle of the road, never nobody's bottom and never nobody's top. And Walter was like, I ain't gonna hold you up. And I don't say nothing. I've been quiet on this whole set. But right now, everybody always liked Tasia. I was always checking for Tasia. She was nobody's bottom, so you weren't the one trying to save her. Like, stop it. And Phil was like, Corey, even I tried to, like, talk to her for you. And I liked her. And so stop it. So Corey ain't changed his stripes. But Sabrina did say she gave him a hard time on the show. But she has talked to him since they have wrapped their show. And she really likes Corey. They talk all the time. And he's really a nice person. She was like, nah, Camille always would take up for him. Because she knew that I guess he was a nice guy deep down. But I'm like, Corey, you really need to change your ways. Because this is not working. So the the host did ask Courtney and Moomin kind of like, well, how do y'all feel about what he's saying? I was like, still no. It's a no-go for us. Like, they not feeling it. They not feeling his apology because he did apologize for doing the whole little Mr. Copy and Paste. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't think he's learned his lesson. The host was like, listen, this is a small sampling, but Corey, if all the women are here are not feeling it, it's probably a good idea to stop because most women won't. They're a good sampling of that. Okay. Yeah, that was basically it for them. Zadia again, they're going to talk about this whole Dante blow up. So remember, everybody heard about it, but nobody actually saw it. And you could see them watching it, and everybody was like, wow. You know, when she was tapping him on her nose and saying all this stuff. And Dante said he didn't even hear her say that I chose you in that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he said he was too busy eating his vegan risotto, and he wasn't paying no mind. She was like, that's not why I chose Naim. You know, it just worked out, blah, blah, blah. She was trying to lie, I guess. She was just trying to come back with it. And I mean, maybe she just said that to make him mad or jealous or something. But I think she did pick Dante, and that's why she was so angry and so upset. She said she should have walked away. She did apologize. She had apologized to him off camera. He said they good now. You know, they cool, whatever. And that's basically it. She said she should have just kept her butt walking. She should have never came back, which we all know. Then there was Aisha and Dante, and everyone cheers for their little love story and connection. They saw it play out, and it was really nice. I like them together. Aisha does say that, yes, they are together, but it has not been a cakewalk. They have their ups and their downs, but they are working through it. And basically, he says he loved her vulnerability, and she always wears her heart on the table. She has this raw energy, and it's super fun. He let her little Brooklyn, you know, side, her little New York accent or whatnot. And, of course, the host, again, she always taking it to the extreme. She asked him, do y'all see marriage? And basically, they're like, we taking it, you know, one day at a time. Like she said, it's not all glitz and glamour. And, yeah, but they are definitely together. She says when he shuts down, she gives him his space, and then she comes back and they revisit it. And yeah, she asks if there's any last remarks, any last words. So I'm like, what was his name? Carrington? I think his name was Carrington. He did go early, and it probably was somebody else. I think the dude who did the poem. I don't even know if he was there, but Carrington was there with his blonde hair. I see he dyed his hair blonde on social media for Halloween, and I think it's still blonde with the black beard. I'm not feeling it. But he had no words. They didn't say nothing to him. I was like, dang, you just had to show up to just show up. They had no segment for him. They didn't talk about him going home. They did talk about Tyrone and some other people. But I was like, yeah, that's exactly why you went home, sir. Unmemorable. Anyway, she was like, anybody got any last words, anything? And then she calls Tyrone. I like, Tyrone? Like, anybody, you know, you want to, you know, shoot your last shot or anything? She was like, Tyrone? He was like, is the host an option? I was like, okay, Tyrone, well, you just shot your shot, huh? She could tell she was blushing. She didn't see that coming. I think she wanted him to talk about Carrie, but Tyrone still like feeling Carrie. Point blank, period. And yeah, they did a sneak peek of the next season, y'all. It is in Potomac, Michigan. I do watch Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've seen nothing super fun about it or about Potomac. So we're going to see how these singles in Potomac are. And yeah, I'm going to be back with y'all. So definitely, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you can always be notified each and every single time I post. Again, don't forget to check out the Simply Stacy store at stacyhuddleston.com/shop. That will be in the description box below. Again, like I said, we have the journals. We have the Black Love. We have the Simply Love. We have the Black History Moments as well on the site, as well as all the motivational and inspirational journals that we have. Sorry. And mugs. So definitely check us out on stacyhuddleston.com/shop. And guys, thank you for sticking it out with me. Let me know what y'all thought of this season in the comments below, because I got some more thoughts, but I want to hear y'all's thoughts. And I'll definitely check back in with you. Okay, guys, until next time, see ya.